Today we're talking to St Albans City manager Ian Allinson at Clarence Park, where the Saints have ended a run of 5 home National League South defeats with a 1-1 draw against Chelmsford City. I thought, Ian, that first 15-20 minutes Chelmsford gave us a lot of problems. It looks like we're in for a tough afternoon, but all they did was hit the post in that time, and we had 3 great chances with headers, and in the end they cost us the victory, I suspect.
I think if you look back at chances created, I mean obviously I felt we still looked a little bit nervous early on, and we spoke about it at length for being brave on the ball and wanting to get on the ball and keeping the ball, and I felt we just give it away, and I just thought, you know, the way the game was panning out there again, it was going to be a frustrating afternoon, and we gave probably the first time we lost any sort of shape to our performance. We gave the goal away, but I have to say, you know, for 15-20 minutes in that first half we had 2 or 3 really good chances where 2 years ago Sam Merson was taking those headers, and unfortunately today we've missed 2 good chances. But I felt our second half performance was as good as I've seen for a long time in terms of where we are. We needed them to be brave on the ball, and they passed the ball well. We got some good opportunities in terms of creating chances. Zane's had his shot just go past the post, and Sam's had another shot just go over the bar. We got the goal. And then just needed a little bit of luck, and the ball's bobbling around in there. I mean, I think the whole crowd and all of our team went up for the handball, but unfortunately the bloke in the middle didn't see it, and that probably summed up the afternoon in the end.
There haven't been too many games this season when we put sides under sustained pressure, but it's no doubt we did this in the second half, so it's encouraging. We just couldn't get the goal which we desperately need. Yeah,
as you said all along, David, you know, draws aren't what we need. We need fixtures because they give you 3 points, and the situation we're in, we need to get 3 points. So, as I said, I can't fault anybody. I thought the crowd was excellent today, and we need them on our side. But I thought the shift that the players put in today, you know, we needed that. And I felt first half last week for 45 minutes we were good. Second half today we've got 45 minutes where we've been very good. Now we've got to transfer that into a 90-minute performance. But as I've said, you know, there's no easy games in this league. It's the tough league we're in. Respect the opposition, but again, as I say, second half today I felt we really had a go. Could have won the game with a little bit more luck, but also, you know, Dean hasn't had a lot to do considering the possession they had early on. Second half he's really been a bystander, and apart from 1 or 2 shots they've had from distance.
We saw Sam Merson and Joey Schifano up front together. It hasn't happened too often this season. You had to juggle it around pretty much every game. Well,
the injuries, obviously, with Joe being out for a lot longer than I expected him to be. You know, when he first, it was an innocuous challenge, but you know, he was like scissor kicked, and he did the ankles. It was like just wasn't one side; it was both sides, and it's taken 7 weeks for us to get him back to where we are now. You know, we still at times we have to be careful we manage his minutes during training, because training on AstroTurf does put a bit of pressure on his ankle. But we've done it hard this week, and he's worked extremely hard. And we spoke last evening to how he felt, and he felt quite comfortable. So again, we've played him 85 minutes today, so it's good from his point of view to get that. And he's going to get sharper as the games come thick and fast now over the next sort of 4 or 5 weeks. So, and Sam again, it's only his second game back after being out for 4.5 weeks. So it's good from that side of it. But we need them. We need them back to where they were before they both got injured. But also, you know, bringing Menashe in obviously gives a little bit more in terms of the tenacity. Solomon and David in there, I thought did a great job, and you know, Zane picks up them little areas. I just think sometimes Zane needs to shoot more. He's got an unbelievable shot on him, and he's got great creativity in terms of the way he kicks the ball. But tonight I thought he looked to pass it 2 or 3 times when he was in the box, and could have caused him a few more problems if he'd just gone and took them on and been a bit braver maybe in the 18-yard box rather than looking to pass.
You gave a quick mention there to Menashe Sandia. 2 games now, settling in well.
Yeah, I've been, as I say, you know, I was impressed when he played against us and in the Charity Cup, and you know, to get him now at this stage of the season has been a bonus. As I say, I've enjoyed both his performances. I thought he was a little bit quiet first half today, but I didn't think the position we played him in, we played him a little bit wider. When we moved him inside, I felt second half he was much better, and he enjoyed it, and he got on the end of the cross for the goal. So you know, he's got a great engine about him. He's got good legs, and we've got that now with Solomon there as well. So you know, it's great from that side of it. But again, you know, we've got to win games of football, so it's going to be a tough month now coming into December. We've got a real tough month going into January, and we've got to make sure we win as many games as we can.
Talking to the forwards, there's no place in the squad for Albert Adu today.
Yeah, I just felt looking at Albert's performance over the last couple of weeks, I think he's been a little bit off it. He picked up a knee injury and he missed sort of 3 or 4 weeks with that. He came back against Welling and I thought he looked really sharp, but I felt against Tonbridge and again last week I felt he just looked a little bit off in terms of fitness wise. So we're going to work hard with him on Tuesday, as we are with 2 or 3 of the other players, probably away from the main squad. The main squad will go and do a bit of work with Chris, and then 4 or 5 will go and do some work with the physio and just work maybe on the physical side of the running, just to try and get a bit of fitness back into his game, because it's difficult. We can only have 5 subs, and Joe Howe missed out last week, and David DeHage missed out the week before. So the squad is slightly bigger, but we've picked up an injury today to Jamie Fielding, so we'll have to see where we are with that. Obviously, him being a Stevenage player, he's going to have to go back to Stevenage and let them assess the injury. But again, I thought Jamie today had an excellent game.
What was the injury?
Just a knee. He's felt his knee. It's just give away underneath him, and it's quite tender at the moment.
Right. Okay. You mentioned a couple of players there. Joe Howe, Tommy Brewer. They're getting minutes away from the club. Yeah,
I mean the squad with Sam and Joe both being injured, and then obviously Albert had a bit of an injury. I mean, you see where we were playing James Kolotsky up front, so and bringing the 3 boys in at the time we needed them because the squad was thin on the ground. But obviously now everyone's back fit and everyone's ready to go. I just didn't want players sitting in the stand doing nothing. We're not a sort of side or club that can afford to have players sitting in the stand, so it worked well for me. I spoke both players on Wednesday that this is the thing I want to have a look at. The thing is with Tommy Brewer, the travelling from Hampton to here for a 6 o'clock start was causing him a lot of problems with work-wise. So I spoke to them both before I spoke to Lee and just said, look, take both boys and let's just reassess it again where we are in January. So it works for us, it works for them, and obviously it works for Hendon.
Tom Bender's had quite a bit on his mind recently. I think his wife's been in and out of hospital. Successfully gave birth to a boy this week. That must help settle him down a bit.
Yeah, hopefully so, because I think it's something that has been playing on his mind a little bit. And what people don't understand, he's gone and got a new job, and that's probably took a little bit of pressure in terms of he's having to work with that in terms of 5 days a week, and then obviously with the football, and obviously with the situation with his wife, and he's already got a little boy as well. So people have to understand that they are human, and that will take up some time. It will take up a bit of his mind in terms of what's going right. So to get that situation done and put to bed obviously helps us, helps him, and I felt his performance today was back to where he was at the early part of the season. So again, we've got to try and build on what we've done today. We can't keep having these 45 minutes and taking a backward step, because the performance at Tonbridge, as we said a couple of weeks ago, was one that really took us a back step. We'd had the performance against Welling and Bishop Stortford, and we've had 2 really good 45 minutes, say, at Welling last week and today. So we've got to try and take these performances forward, and then obviously into the Hampton game next week, and that's going to be a tough game because I think they've won 4-0 today. I watched them play Billericay on Tuesday night, and they're a good side.
Well, for a while it looked like they were going to be one of the sides struggling to avoid the drop, but they've really picked up in recent weeks, haven't they?
Yeah, Gary's done a good job. I mean, I speak to Gary quite a bit, and he's gone and strengthened the squad. I think he got a bit of money from the Jamal Lowe signing. The club gave him some to go and strengthen it, and he's gone and strengthened it well. And at the moment, they look a very good side, and they're a dangerous side, and it's going to be a tough game against them here next week.
We're talking tough games. Your record against Chelmsford, Ian, it's been pretty good the last couple of years. This is a disaster, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, record's very good, but again, it's you just need a little bit of luck in football, and I've said it all along. But you make your own luck in football, and we've got to just keep believing in what we're doing. We've got to try and stay strong for it's a difficult period. I think it's difficult for everyone. It's certainly difficult for the fans. It's difficult for the club. It's difficult for the players, and also it's difficult for me. But as I've said all along, that I believe that I'm the right person to get this club out of the situation we're in. I've been doing it for long enough and understand, the trials and tribulations we're going to have, and the ups and downs, and it's about trying to manage people correctly, manage the supporters correctly, and obviously, hopefully, we'll get out from where we are. But it's going to be tough, as I said all along. I'm under no illusions. We've still got to look to try and make sure that we're better than what we are. We've created 4 or 5 corners in the game today, and we haven't scored again. So they're all the things we have to try and work on and improve, because if you get a set piece, we need to be scoring from them, and today we haven't really created enough chances from the set pieces we got. But a lot of them were in the middle of the pitch, and there's no angle on what we was doing, and we won a few headers but didn't put back into areas which we've got to go and work on again, because we're quite a big side when you've got Kolotsky on there, Long King on there, and Solomon on there, and obviously Josh was on at the end. we're a very big side, and we've got to try and utilise that and turn some of the opportunities, some of the free kicks we get into goals or chances, and we probably didn't do that well enough today.
Last week I inadvertently said we were out of all the cup competitions, out of sheer incompetence, so nobody probably picked me up on it. But I think you would trade a couple of wins in that for league wins, wouldn't you? If it Hearts Senior Cup gives that.
I certainly would trade a couple of wins for league wins without a shadow of doubt. But you know, as I've said all along, is you set your season out. You want to go as far as you can in the FA Cup, in the FA Trophy, in the Hearts Senior Cup, and win the league. So you know, it's just one of them things that, you know, the season hasn't been good enough. You know, we can't hide from the fact that, you know, some of the performances this year have been poor. But I do believe the players we've got here are good enough, but we've just got to start, you know, turning some of the negative results into positives, and the confidence will come flowing back. And I think you see at times this afternoon some of the confidence, when that starts flowing, we're a good side. But we've got to have it for 90 minutes, not for 45. And we're always looking to try and chase the game and pick up the pieces, where we've got to be a little bit better than that, because if we could get in front and have a couple of good wins, I think the confidence will come flying back. But we've also got to just guard against any relapses, because the performance at Tonbridge really took me a bit by surprise, because I felt we were better than that, and I felt the performances leading up to the Tonbridge game had turned the corner, and then we had the relapse, and it's taken a little bit longer to obviously get us back on track of where we need to be. But we've got a spare week again this week, which is handy. We've got a spare week now the week after, I think, and I think we've got the weekend off, which will allow us to work at the university on a full pitch, and then I think we go to Oxford on the Tuesday night. So you know, it's just really now just trying to spend as much time on the training pitch with Chris. I think some of his ideas and some of the things he's working hard on, the players have bought into it already, and I think they're enjoying a couple of sessions he's done. But it'll give him more time now to go and spend a bit more time with them and work closely with them.
Lovely, thanks Ian. I'll leave you to go away and celebrate our 150th home league goal and during your time as manager. And the rest of us can look forward to next Saturday's game at Clarence Park. That's the 7th of December, when Hampton and Richmond Borough are the visitors to Clarence Park in National League South. Kick-off is at 3 p.m.